Well, thanks for coming back in. And that was just a wood duck in Rutland, Mass. After the rain finally stopped, horrible rain this weekend. Of course, I did throw a little Osprey quickie in there. If you didn't catch it on the Sunday, went to Rutland, Mass, and that's what I got. But this is a different edition because Jody's going to make her presence here. She's going to show you what she's been working on. She's back behind the camera finally. It's been a while for her, and we just be nice to get what she's doing in her eyes finding out there, which is nice. It's nice. That's all I'll say. Very nice. So I'm going to turn it over to Jody.
Thank you, honey. Hi, I'm Jody. I'm the J of J and D. I know you're used to the handsome guy, but I have been back behind the lens for a few months now. It's been amazing. And I thought I would jump on here and share some of my recent encounters with nature. I hope you enjoy it. Well, we're starting off with some beautiful deer. I never get tired of seeing deer. They're just so beautiful. Deer are mostly active during early morning and evening hours, and of course that makes for the absolute best photo lighting. It's not often that they will leave their bedding areas at any other time of day, but if they are super hungry or perhaps as a predator in the area, you may sometimes see them in the middle of the afternoon. But when it's really quiet and peaceful and you have that beautiful golden light in the morning and during twilight, that is the most gorgeous light to see them in. Just look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Well, we're moving on to the great blue heron. This was a tough shot in a canoe on an overcast day, but I loved the branch he was on. The great blue heron is the largest species of heron in North America. And I was lucky enough that the sun came out for 5 seconds so I could get a good shot of him flying away from us. Next, we move on to the gray egret. I went for a walk recently on a Friday morning early before work, and I was blessed with this special encounter with this beautiful bird. Gray egrets actually either forage alone or in mixed flocks by slowly walking in shallow water. They don't often hunt at night or feed at night like other heron species. I just love the reflections, and look at the way their neck kind of makes an S curve as they're stretching out over the water, trying to see whether or not there's a tasty morsel for them beneath. I love this one. He looks like he's posing for me. I was sitting very quietly and taking my photos. He looked at me a few times, but because I was giving him space, I think that he trusted that I was not a predator. I love that beautiful green patch around their eyes. They are just the most beautiful angels on earth. Absolutely stunning. And here, finally, he takes a plunge to get himself a tasty morning morsel, and he was quite successful. I feel incredibly blessed to have witnessed this. No matter how many times I see it, I am absolutely amazed. Such a beautiful bird. And then we move on to the mute swan. This beautiful male was grooming himself at the water's edge for quite some time. Mute swans are actually non-native to North America. They were introduced to North America from Eurasia in the late 1800s. This male kept an eye on me, but didn't seem too bothered by my presence, and it was such a privilege to watch him preen himself and spend some time wiggling those tail feathers. Look at this. So beautiful. They know exactly what to do to keep themselves looking amazing. I love taking landscape shots. These were all handheld, the ones I'm about to show you. This first one was from a canoe on a windy day, very cloudy. I'm still working on finding the right settings for various types of landscape and lighting, and I have found that YouTube has been a great research to continue to learn my camera and the settings that I need for lighting. I took this one because of all the different textures against the blue sky, and the bush isn't quite full yet. I just love watching spring come. This is where my settings and editing really need some work, but I just loved those spectacular clouds. They are so amazing. I am a sucker for a reflection shot. Flat calm really does help, and I just think these trees are going to be so full before we know it. I'm amazed that when the tide goes out, it's like walking on a different planet whose landscape changes from day to day. This skunk cabbage shot was actually instructed by our 11-year-old granddaughter. I think that kid needs a camera, honestly. I love water. Every flow, splash, and displacement is never the same. I'm still learning to balance with water, light, and shadow, but Stepstone Falls in Arcadia National Park in Rhode Island will be visited again. This was our first encounter there. It was very lovely. If you look a little closely off to the left of the frame there, you can see the D of J&D. I just loved the curve of the rocks on this one, and the play of the light and the shadow was just absolutely beautiful. Water is so extraordinarily healing. And I know this isn't the waterfall, but it was just such a cool branch. Looks like a person bending over to tend to the tree. You know, sometimes a shot comes out exactly as you had hoped. I love everything about this, the movement, the water. It's just so beautiful. And I know some people aren't seagull fans, but I find them to be both fascinating and amusing to observe, like this particular duo who were plunging in the water. Don't worry, his friend was close by, just out of shot, but they were looking for food and just hanging out together. This one is pulling a crab up out of the shore, and his little friend comes and joins him in a moment and is kind of giving me a good side-eye shot. Yep, there he is. They were such a joy to watch. Again, incredibly blessed. And it is amazing what the ocean and those birds leave behind on the shore. Sometimes Mother Nature hands you gifts to discover, appreciate, and even photograph. None of these shell photos have been staged in any way. They were just there, and I felt compelled to take a picture. This, I wonder how long this shell has been tossed around by the water to end up looking like that. Of course, I have a picture of the feather. Dennis always jokes that when I come home, I always have thousands of feather photos, but I'm drawn to them. I can't help it. I'm sure there are others like that. This is a perfect example of Mother Nature handing you a gift. Absolutely beautiful, all the different colors and textures. Now, right by those shells, the sanderlings and dunlins, and I think they are the cutest winter shorebirds, bar none. They're industrious and especially entertaining when they begin to chase each other to steal a tasty morsel from one of their friends. You will see this one, yes, trying to hide behind a rock. And believe it or not, he got chased again. I am pretty proud of this next photo. This mallard photo was taken on a cloudy, drizzly day. I just love the male's green head. I feel very lucky that I got what I did. And then we move on to just a couple of shots of the amazing osprey. If you haven't watched our recent video short on them, please go ahead and check that out. And I'm sure there will be lots more videos on them coming this spring. These loons were feeding fairly close to shore in a breachway. Loons can dive for up to 5 minutes and are strong swimmers and divers going against a pretty fast tide. Pretty soon we are going to see them all transform from their winter plumage. And if you live in the Northeast, you have definitely heard their beautiful calls, their lonely calls at some point. The common eider is not only beautiful, but it is the largest sea duck in the northern hemisphere. They can fly up to 70 miles an hour, so I feel incredibly blessed to have captured these shots of the female flying. I just love showing a bit of the environment too. Hello again, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. I tried to include a few fun facts here and there and some information on where I am with my photography and adventuring. I still have some learning to do. I do think some of that got down pretty well. Of course, it always helps when Mother Nature's lighting works perfectly with us, but I'm doing the best I can. I only went out a handful of times last year. It was a rough year, so I've been going back out regularly for about 3 months now, and it has just been so amazing and so healing. And I hope to show you more of what I'm working on and show you more of my growth. And of course, I will say again, if you haven't watched the Osprey short video that was posted, I believe, last Friday, please go ahead and watch it. Just know that there will be more Osprey action coming this spring, more with all the birds and other bits of nature returning. And I'm so happy to be a part of that. Please like us on Facebook. Please follow us or subscribe on YouTube. I don't know the verbiage. That's where I show my age. But the J of J&D is happy to be here, and I hope you have a great day. Get out there and enjoy.